Hi out there. Thanks for visiting the site. And my subject today is finding a common spirituality. It's been the impression that those who are religious are necessarily going to fight. There's a lot in history to indicate that might be so. Well, why do they fight? They fight because what comforts one discomforts another. And but is there a common kind of comfort, a universal kind of spirituality that from which all the religions draw from? I believe that does exist, and it is this spirituality that I call optimistic intelligence. Why? Because it is a connection between our motivational part of ourselves, our emotional feeling part of ourselves, with our higher virtues, goodness, truth, and art. Now, I've talked about these things in other scenarios, but this is the common spirituality, and then the appreciation of life itself, the realization that you're a part of that life, which is all beautiful, is the fourth ideal. And it is the goal of the ideals. And I would have to say that there is yet an overriding principle involved with the operation of these virtues, and that's freedom. Um, and freedom uh, means very clearly that not the wrong kind of authority or an imbalance of authority and power is vested in any particular perspective. And this means that you have to balance the virtues, and you have to use them all and weigh them together, and in order to find your spiritual path. It isn't all about beauty, although you experience more of it as a result of connection to your virtues. Um, it isn't all about art, although with art you see expressions and creative ideas that help us connect to our beauty and to the beauty of the world, which is a kind of transcendence, which I may go into in another segment. And it isn't all about goodness. Obviously, sometimes we can't be good to people who are trying to kill our mother. So goodness also needs balance. And it isn't all about truth. Um, Sometimes you don't tell all the truth uh, all the time or explicitly when it harms the feelings of someone. You don't tell somebody that, you don't tell me that my pot gut is especially large this week, although it probably wouldn't bother me because I am hooked up to my virtues to some degree. That means a little creative thought and I'm able to see myself um, and appreciate the humor. But you can't guarantee that that will be the case with everyone that you make such a remark to. So even that needs balance. And, any sensible person realizes this, And what do all the virtues serve? It serves the core experiencing part of ourselves and each other. This is where all the religions can come together, or even, those religions that are just ethical postulations. Uh, so there is a common spirituality, and optimistic intelligence is all about that. The process of optimistic intelligence, how do you get there, is optimistic integration. And this integration, which gives us our sense of optimism and joy in life, is a connection of our motivational feelings with our higher reflective abilities, which help us to experience a better life, a more beautiful experience. And when you found the path that helps you to experience greater beauty and therefore greater bliss, then you can do as the great mythologist Joseph Campbell said, follow your bliss. But there's a lot more to following your bliss than just doing what makes you happy. That could get you in a lot of trouble. Your bliss has to be something that connects you to your ideals, or it isn't a real appreciation of the inherent value and beauty of things, or of yourself, or of other people. And you have to have that to have real bliss. It's a very shallow bliss that doesn't have those things, and it would be a very shallow optimism without those things. That's why I call it optimistic intelligence. And when I say optimistic integration, I am referring to um, how that comes about. And I don't say it, but you are integrating that optimism with your higher reflective abilities. And I think this is a very reasonable kind of position to take. And it's something that can bring us all together politically, in terms of religion, and any other number of things, if we have certain capacities or can agree to try and develop them together. And how do you do that? How do you arrive at this common ground of spirituality? Well, if you're going to realize art, you have to have and experience it. You're going to have a connection between your creativity and that wonderful ability that we call play. Yeah. So play means the ability to go along with things and to experience the different perspectives that are presented. Art presents a different experience. Else it isn't art. It gives us a particular experience that it shares an experience with us um, from a variety of views. So it seeks to expand our views at the same time, giving us a sense of, again, of the inherent beauty of life and others and ourselves and other creatures and so on. So art is a great thing, and it's very important in optimistic intelligence. From it is actually, in a sense, it's the core dialogue or communication that exists. And there are two other supporting dialogues. What you want to be is in heaven all the time, but you can't. You have to deal with the future. You have to be objective and mindful of your condition and deal with the future, or that troubles you too much to allow you to experience things in a heavenly way. Unless you just want to walk around with a phony smile, and that's not real optimism. That's phony optimism. It's a high, and it isn't a sustainable sort of thing. Real optimism is sustainable, and it's solid. It's based on abilities and perspectives that you can develop. It's optimism with reason. And, you can't live in heaven all the time, be it play in heaven all the time, exploring and so forth in that wonderful transcendent way, if you have old grief that's pulling you back, that's keeping you from feeling what you feel. And this means old traumas and hurts and problems from the past, or from your recent history. And it also involves positive things that you haven't really integrated yet. These things are together. Neurologists are pointing this out, I think, nowadays. No need to hammer it home. Feelings are all a piece. They're together. Kill joy, you kill sorrow, you kill sorrow, you kill joy. So, how do you then put the past behind you and deal adequately with the future so you're not living in worry, and then focus on your gateway to heaven, to your bliss, to a transcendent kind of life? Now, there's a lot of practical ways of going about that, and I'm sure a lot of you are thinking of those things even as I'm speaking, and certainly taking care of your health is important, and so on, and your psychological health. But optimistic intelligence deals with your spiritual health. It's a spiritual thing. And the faith that it requires is simply a faith in that your needs can be met adequately. And there's no belief system necessarily a part of this, although it can be. It seems that my time's up. I hope that you've appreciated this video, and there'll be more to come. Thank you for your time.